Hey, what up, y'all? It's your boy Scoob, and welcome to Diecast. Thank you all for being here with me today. Yeah, I know. It's been a while since I've been on camera. We'll get to that in a second. And then on top of that, I got my fans going. It's a little toasty in here, so hopefully the sound of my fans won't disrupt y'all in the background. But anyway, the reason why I'm doing this right now is because I want to touch on a subject, and it's going to be very controversial, and it's going to be about the Hot Wheels Redline Club, particularly the Redline Club, the RLC Overdrive membership. So basically, the Overdrive membership was a way for more people to get their cars for a price, of course, for a very pretty penny. We'll get to that later on in the video, but first I want to ask y'all, I know, was it a success? I know it was for some of y'all, but for the rest of y'all, was it a train wreck? I know myself, on the outside looking in, I kind of sort of want to lean towards the train wreck part. But I'm going to do this as fair and unbiased as possible, if at all possible. So anyway, before we get started, I just want to, the question I want to ask is, how did we get here? I got my notes down here, so forgive me for looking down. So basically, how we got here was that it began as a way to combat the bots collectors were basically complaining about. So yeah, that was pretty much a way for more people to get their cars, to beat the bots a little bit, because they were wreaking some havoc on the Mattel Creations website. I can personally attest to that myself, as well as most of y'all who's a member of that website. But anyway, I'm going to rattle off on some major points that I wrote down. So basically, one is the Overdrive rules. So basically, it cost $100 to join the Overdrive thing, but you already had to. It was a must to have already been a member of the standard RLC membership, which was an extra $10. And then you also got automatic access to a RLC exclusive car every 1 to 3 weeks. So yeah, RLC exclusives, get pretty good access. It kind of sounds promising already. And then the cars are guaranteed and purchased automatically, with the option to skip a car 10 days in advance. But there was a limited amount of memberships available for the year. I kind of remember they saying it was somebody saying it was capped at only 10,000 memberships. But overall it do sound like a pretty good deal, right? But wait, there's more. But it's U.S. members only, and the membership is non-refundable. So basically, all the international collectors, all the international members, I should say, got left in the dust, so to speak, totally left out. That's a controversy in itself, right there. And then if you wished for some reason to opt out of the membership, you were basically stuck with it, because you ain't gonna get your money back. So yeah, sounds like a pretty damn good deal, don't it now? Oh, all right. Now we can get into phase 2, which is the Overdrive aftermath. So basically, what we just discussed was the complaints about the price. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. So yeah, $100. Folks wasn't down with it. They was not feeling that. So yeah, totally a lot of complaints there. So anyway, $100. That is a lot, especially when you already got the regular RLC membership, which is only $10. But yeah, but that's $10 on top of a Benjamin that you had to spend just to join the Overdrive thing, which in my opinion didn't work out too well, as a lot of people voiced their opinions about very, very loudly. So the next thing I'm gonna go off on is it was just too easy for scalpers, basically to take advantage of, particularly on the JDM stuff. Now it did make it easier for some people to get their stuff. Yeah, I want to be fair about that. Just to point that out, especially if you had to be at work or something, or somewhere else that was important. But it just made it too easy for the scalpers. Basically, this was basically scalper heaven. You just gave them a whole nother avenue, just more access than they should to rack up these cars. Of course, there's limits to each car that you buy, but it just gave these people just the red carpet treatment, and I think that was kind of sad, especially when it comes to the JDM stuff, which is the best-selling thing nowadays. So that's just how it goes, though. So anyway, there were complaints about too many cars being made from some people. Some collectors, you know how they are. They got to have everything to themselves. But it wasn't just the scalpers who were complaining about this. It was just other collectors that kind of felt like they wanted to have more of something that other people couldn't have. That's where the elitism came from on that. But the fact is that these cars are still going to be mass produced anyway. It ain't like you getting something that's 1 of 1, or 2 of 2, or 3 of 3. You're getting something that 30, 40,000 other folks are going to get. So to me, even though that's a low number compared to main lines or regular premiums that Hot Wheels make, it's still a lot of cars. That's still plenty for a lot of members. So you ain't getting nothing special. So get off your high horse a little bit. And then just to segue off into that point, the next point was, most cars ended up not selling, selling out on release day anyway. So basically, these cars, they ended up sitting and actually sitting for some of them for a couple of weeks or so, till they finally sold out. So yeah, a couple of them right here that I got out is this Pagani Huayra R. This ended up sitting for about about a week or two. And then even this Mazda RX-7 right here, this ended up sitting for a few days. So yeah, this was the most surprising to me, this RX-7. I'm a supercar guy. I was gonna buy this this Huayra no matter what. And so, but anyway, about this RX-7, people were had their own list of complaints about this one. They didn't really like the engine, the way that it looked. It looks fine to me. But I kind of get what they're saying, at face value on screen. Yeah, I can't really, bring it up too far in because it started getting all blurry and shit. But anyway, that's what the gist of it. But in person, I didn't think it was that bad. But yeah, that ended up being one of my favorite cars that came out this year. But the thing was, those were the only two cars that I bought. I missed out on that Lincoln Continental. Totally forgot about that on release day. I'll probably get that some other time. But anyway, a lot of other cars ended up not selling out. Like that McLaren F1. Oh man, that thing just sat. I mean, I wasn't too crazy about it myself either. Only because of, the quality control. And then just the way that they made it too. I really just wasn't feeling the way that they made those doors. Those gaps were just way too wide. I didn't really like the way, those hinges were exposed. And on top of that, you had a lot of paint defects on it. A lot of discoloration between the doors and the rest of the body. And then some other stuff, other junk that folks were complaining about that actually got their, McLaren F1. So I feel like, as much as I wanted a McLaren F1 because that's one of my favorite real cars of all time, I feel like I kind of dodged a bullet on that one. Other stuff ended up not selling out, such as that Plymouth Barracuda, and then some other stuff that I can't really remember. The only thing that, the only few things that really sold out on release day was of course that that R34 Skyline in the chameleon purple paint. So anyway, that was a given. Everybody knew that thing was gonna be gone anyway. Totally forgot about that, but that was just gonna be too much competition anyway. But this RX-7 to me was a nice little consolation prize. So there you go with that. So yeah, it really messed up the scalpers, too, with those cars not selling the way that they should have. So that was actually a plus in a way that people didn't expect. So that was pretty much a blessing in disguise. So that was a very small win, but a W nonetheless, which I'll take. But here's another thing that I want to get into, which is Lamley. So anyway, I watched that video that he put up a couple of days ago. Basically, the title of it was RLC has never been better, but at the same time, it also had never been worse. I know some of y'all have watched that already, But anyway, what he was trying to say is, while he was showing some RLC, his own RLC cars, is the fact that, you know, they weren't really, you know, he basically says that the cars are not as rare as, you know, they should be, or at least, you know, perceived to be. That's one of his, you know, John's arguments, who, you know, runs the whole Lamley thing, the whole Lamley group, so to speak. He said there needs to be a better perception of rarity, you know, when it comes to RLC, which I totally disagree with, basically. If you don't mind, yeah, I could not, you know, disagree with that anymore, because, you know, there's enough of this, you know, complaining and bitching going on about, you know, folks not getting their cars, which is what, you know, he pointed out as well, basically. And then the fact that, you know, the cars, and as a result, the cars are not selling as they should. You know, he's got, you know, pretty much a dog in that fight, because, you know, he directly works with Mattel, because, you know, he gets a lot of stuff from them, stuff that they send to him to review. You know what I mean, that's part of his job, you know, is just to give us the inside scoop. But at the same time, you know, these cars should be available to anybody who wants them. So I believe that, you know, it'll take a, Mattel, you know, would take a hit, you know, from the business side of it. But, you know, and I'm not saying that, you know, they should make, you know, a gajillion of them. But all I'm saying is, you know, these people pay good money for these memberships, especially on that Overdrive, you know, stuff. So people are, you know, spending $10 a year, $100 for this Overdrive bullshit, and then still not, you know, getting their cars. I mean, you know, I mean, it makes it a little easier with Overdrive, but still, y'all get what I'm saying. So anyway, my point is that you know, it just make it too easy for these scalpers if you try to, you know, cap the limit of these cars to a smaller amount, like 10,000 or 5,000. With the way people are spending their money on these memberships, anyway, you know, I don't think that's right. I think that's just totally wrong on Mattel's part to do so. That's just my opinion. You might disagree with me on that, but, you know, like I said, you know, you ain't getting, you know, gold from Mattel, unless you try to sell it like gold on eBay. But good luck with that, because I see a lot more cars sitting more often than not. So anyway, that's really, you know, all I wanted to go through. So I'll just give my final thoughts, you know, on Lamley. Basically, you know, he comes from a very privileged position, because, you know, it's easy for him to say all that when he get most of his shit for free, not only just from Mattel, but from all these other, you know, companies and brands. I'm not saying that, you know, he don't pay for his own stuff. You know, like he said in the video, you know, yeah, he paid for some of his RLC cars that he showed in that video that I was talking about. And then, you know, but, you know, he still get his shit for free, more than, you know, we will, more than we ever will. So basically, you know, he need to get off of his high horse too, because sometimes, you know, I don't want to sound like some, you know, dude hating, but, you know, sometimes he can get a little too big for his britches too. But, you know, anyway, that's all I wanted to, speak on, with him. So anyway, that just about does it. I just want to ask all of y'all, y'all's thoughts. You feel free to put them down in the comments below. I really don't care. Like I said, people pay too much of their hard-earned money for these cars and these memberships. So, I just want to, give you my 2 cents. Yeah, I just want to speak out for the people. So anyway, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Leave a like if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. I'm making a push to reaching 400 subscribers really soon. I only need about a few more until I reach that point. It won't take too long, but with y'all's help, hopefully that can be achievable. And share this video to other people who are looking for quality diecast content. So anyway, I'm gonna get my butt on out of here. Thank you all for being here with me again, and I'll see y'all later. And have a good one, y'all.